Welcome along to the guide next in the series. We are talking how to complete the grip levels Series 7. We are giving you the full walkthrough on the free-to-play account without using boosts, and we're going to show you every single strategy to complete all 4 races in Series 7. So hopefully you're enjoying the series as we go from Series 1 all the way to eventually Series 12. We try and give you as much information as possible. Now remember, when you are racing, there is a lot of factors that get involved, whether it's the matchmaking, whether it's the safety car look, whether it's your rival using boosts or not. We can't win every single race, and obviously in this you're going to see me win 4 races because I'm not going to upload the losses, of course, but trust me, I get a few of them. So the best thing to do is bide your time, take it easy, get through the series, and have some decent levels when you are attacking these series as well. So let's get into, first of all, what are we running and what is Series 7? So if we cross over to the game then, I'll come down this right hand corner. We are obviously making our way. I'm currently in Series 8, but don't worry, this guide will be confirming Series 7 right here. We have grip levels in Series 7, and it is all about picking tyre management drivers. Now remember, tyre management equals a faster driver. So the higher tyre management, the faster the driver will become. Now there is 4 circuits and they have different of the car stat too. You've got Bahrain, which is power unit. You have got Belgium, which is power unit. There is 2 power unit circuits. You have Silverstone, which is speed, and we have Spain, which is cornering. So 2 power unit, 1 speed, 1 cornering circuit. That is what we've got to pick from in Series 7. I say pick, it's random, but they are our 4 tracks, and basically we've got an 8 lap, a 10 lap, an 8 lap, and a 6 lap. So it's going to be very interesting. Strategy is going to be key. Now, what are we running in this series? So there's 2 options that you can do, but first of all, let's get into the drivers. This is what I've used to complete Series 7. I've used Ollie Bearman because he's got decent enough tyre management and his race start is decent. His overtaking is good. I've also been using Liam Lawson because if you check out his tyre management, it's 50. His qualifying is pretty high as well. He's a decent level 7 driver, I think he is, and he's level 4. So I've took my time in this series. Now there is some other drivers that you can go ahead and use. You can use Lance Stroll. Obviously, if you upgrade him, his tyre management, and he'll be a pretty decent driver as well. Also, Esteban Ocon. Now when I find him, there he is. He's got slightly better tyre management, as you can see, than Ollie Bearman, but his overtaking is a lot lower. So I want to come through the field a bit. I'm not going to go with the +4. I could upgrade Ocon, but at the end of the day, I'm about to go into Series 8. I'm not going to need Esteban Ocon again, so I'm going to stick and leave him out. So that is our driver lineup. Now what about the car? There is 2 setup choices that you can do. You can do this one, because we know the power unit circuits are weaker. We can take an equal amount of speed and cornering, and we can try and manage all 4 circuits. But look at the qualifying, it's pretty low. Now the other setup that you can do, and it's only just an increase in team score, is actually go for a cornering and a power unit setup. Now power unit comes with a lot of cornering. That is what we've found this year so far. So you can see the actual power unit levels are the same, but cornering is a lot higher. The qualifying goes 94 to 83. It makes a big difference. So you can try either, but this is the setup I'm going to be using. I'm going to be okay at the power unit circuits. I'm going to be very quick at the cornering circuit. I'm going to struggle at the speed circuit, but I've got 3 circuits covered. And if I get a bot at the speed circuit, I should still be able to win without boosts. So enough chatting because we're 4.5 minutes in. Let's get racing for our first race and go through each of these circuits. So we're heading off to Spain then. Spain for the first time, the first race up in this how to absolutely destroy Series 7. And this one, of course, we're not using boosts. Boosts are very good around this circuit. Downforce is a go-to. Now, I'm going to show you a setup which is okay. The drivers are going to do a strategy that is just about doable, but you can use the hard. So what I'm going to do is going to do a free soft, 4 medium, and I'm going to do the opposite. Now, it says that I can't do 4 mediums, but don't worry, with the levels, you can just about get it, and it's a lot better than using the hards. But of course, if you want the extra pushing power, by all means, go for the hard tyres. Now, look at the qualifying with this setup. P7, P13. It's a pretty decent start grid. Obviously, you want to get a good start. Lawson's race start, not the best, so them early positions, he can lose out. But when you've got tracks like Belgium, sometimes the qualifying and a hopefully good start is going to help you massively. Now, you can see Liam Lawson already got back into P7. We've got Behrman coming along with him. And now we're just going to cut down because we want to manage these strategies. So P6, and what you're going to do is make sure to conserve down the straight. Look how quick Liam Lawson is on those tyres of the softs. Now that race start is over. He can hopefully get racing. Rival's going to use some DRS, but you want to save that for the main straight. Don't worry about losing position. The best place to use DRS is down the main straight. The Rival's going to keep on pushing, but you've got to believe in your strategy and believe where you're going to be pushing. So as we're going to try, get past Oscar Piastri. Behrman is only going to get to 4 mediums. That's what we're going to do, and we'll be able to do it with Lawson, but we won't be able to do it with Behrman. So we might switch up. I think Behrman's, when I was running Ocon, he was absolutely fine. I think with Behrman, a little bit lower tyre management, I might have to just conserve a little bit more and come back faster at the end. So just watch your tyre management. You probably want about 50 tyre management to get 4 mediums around this circuit. You can do it with 43 like I'm doing now. However, you are going to run out of tyres in the last sector, but it's probably quicker than using the hard tyre. So down the straight we go. I'm going to use DRS, but keep it on conserve. That's okay. That is absolutely fine. Now, Lawson's going to come out in what is going to be P13. And again, with this stint of the softs, we need to try and make the tyre work. So we need to try and use the extra pace to overtake. I've got Behrman gaining power unit. He's going to be so good on these soft tyres. But if you've got an Ocon, I would recommend that if you're anyone with better tyre management or you're taking a boost, to go ahead and use, and you're going to do this strategy easy. So Lawson comes through. He's got, I should use DRS there. Make sure you use it too. And this is pretty good at the moment. Behrman is behind the rival. But I'm going to save my DRS for next time round. Soft tyres till the end for Behrman should be absolutely criminal for the rival. We should be able to fly back past as we get up to 14th. Now Lawson getting even better. Getting his elbows out. He's stuck behind the mediums. And he's going to be coming in this lap. Rival uses the DRS. I'm going to use DRS now too with Behrman. And he's just going to get the free soft. Again, you got to, with the 43 tyre management, you've got to conserve quite a lot. That's the only downside for Behrman. Feel free to use Stroll, partnered with Lawson, or Ocon, partnered. I'm using Behrman just for the overtaking side, as he's going to come through. Now Lawson, I could have used DRS, but I don't really need to at the minute. I'm pretty happy where I am. And Behrman's coming through as well. Look at Behrman's nice power unit, building up nicely, and he's just going to be fine to run the softs. Lawson comes out. So that is a 4 medium, free soft, and a free soft, 4 medium. And you need around 50 tyre management to do that. If not, you're going to go for the hards. But this is looking good. Behrman's going to have a lot of room. We'll push into the pit a little bit. Just use that extra bit of pace. All the tyres. Lawson just hanging in on tyres. This is really limited to 50 tyre management or above. But we're going to give it a go anyway. Lawson's into 4th. Just going to conserve again where we can. But you can easily go for the 4 hard, 3 medium if you wish. My aim of this strategy guide is to basically give you the drivers, give you the car, and then try and help you with the strategy dependent on your level of drivers. So remember, 50 tyre management or above will get you the 4 medium, 3 soft, 3 soft. Anything less than that, you might want to look at the hards and the mediums instead. As Bearman comes through, Rival push him. We've got 10 laps, remember. And now Bearman can take some power unit back. We have just lost out to the Rival in that position. That is okay. And I'm really just making sure I can get through on these tyres. We're comfortably ahead of the Rival. We've got our strategy using everything we can. Absolutely perfect. Lawson comes through then. And then so does Bearman. Both bang on the tyre limits. Rival's got some legends. And it looks like I'm going to come home in a P4, P5, which is without boosts. A very good finish. We're going to just run out of tyres on Lawson. I told you I was pushing him a little bit too much. But I'm going to absolutely come ahead just right behind the Rival by the time I cross. Bearman's going to come home P4 and P5. Lawson does just run out of tyres, but we managed it. And so we did with Bearman as well. So that was a very, very good strategy. But just remember for Spain, you want a little bit more. About 50 tyre management or above to do that quite nicely. A little bit of conserving if you've got less than that 50 tyre management. Now, we'll just show you the Rival setup just so you can see the setup we're using. 41 points is what we gained. We just got the win in the end, actually. It was 881 for the Rival. And you can see there, level 2 Button, level 3 Bearman. So they had decent tyre management, the same as us. And their cornering was actually 110. So, I mean, it's one of them weird things that bots seem to have a lot of pace. Could we have had a lot more pace if we used the hards? But either way, that strategy, that setup, worked perfectly. And it got us, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, it got us the victory. Now, our next circuit comes from the United Kingdom and Silverstone. Now, this is a circuit of 8 laps this season, and it could be in the dry or it could be in the wet conditions. And we usually follow a 3-3-2 and a 2-3-3 in either of the dry or the wet conditions. P4, P7 for the Rival. So it is dry, so we're going to go for the 2-3-3 and the 3-3-2. That is going to be our 8-lap encounter as we get set to race. Now remember, speed is our lowest stat. So matchmaking is going to be in our favour as we get a good start with Bearman according to the green. But it is Lawson who carried some good speed into that first and second corner. Here comes Bearman. You need a bit of luck at the start on this circuit. You can see the Rival's got the luck. Lawson, not so much. As we go into the old pit straight, you can see we're actually now P6 and P11. So we await the Rival to push. We know that's going to come. Checking out their tyres, they're going to be 2-stopping, the same as us. And now we're going to make sure that we try and stay ahead, which is famous last words because usually commentators curse, but Bearman does a Hamilton and gets through 2 cars. Great move. Now what we're going to do is, I don't usually want to use DRS down this bit. I usually like to save it for the next straight. But bearing in mind it's so early in the race, I'm going to take advantage while I can and get through the traffic. So Bearman P4. Lawson is going to go to mediums and Rival comes past, but I'm not too concerned at this stage. This car ahead of us or behind is going to pit. Like so. Lawson coming into the pits now. And now the race is on. We've got to believe in our strategy. We've got to make sure we're conserving where we need to so that we get the right setup and strategy done. Now, again, we're not going to use DRS down this straight. Lawson has got a few cars ahead, so I am. Because effectively, the undercut is in play for Lawson here. And now with Bearman, the favourite straight to use it, I'm going to use it there. He'll come into the pits. Lawson's going to continue to conserve. And then I'm going to push Lawson off that final corners into the last 2. And hopefully make some positions. Rival just coming out on the hards. We have got Bearman in 4th. we have got Lawson in 8th. So this is looking good at the moment. Especially when we've both got to stop again. And when you're in the lead of your rival, make sure to just conserve that power unit. Make sure you've got enough in the tank to be able to then activate DRS and use it to its full capability. Down the straight, DRS activated. There's 2 moves as well. Now this rival does look on the quick side. But we're going to be coming in this lap for Lawson. Just holding him at bay. And we are actually very closely matched right now. P4, P5, P6 and P7. This car is going to be pitting on this lap. Same as Lawson. He just gets by, but that's okay. Because we're about to unleash a dose of DRS if it works. So Lawson will close that gap up with nicely. And the good thing is Behrman is going to come for softs. This is where Behrman becomes a quicker car. This stint of the race. Rival's gone for hards. We should have the pace advantage here. I'm going to continue to push. Remember, Silverstone, quick pit stop. You kind of missed the whole of the last corner. As Lawson settles down right behind now. I'm going to use the DRS for the pace. Rival won't be using it. Let's use Lawson to close. And close right up we shall. Into 6th place we go. Behrman's coming out as well. Remember, this is our worst circuit in terms of car stat. Because this is now a speed circuit. And look at how we're currently performing. P4 and P5. Which, I think you've got a fair say, that's a good result if it stayed like this. Could get even better, could it? Could we get P3? No. Won't get P2. Either. Off that Maggots and Beckett's, we use DRS to get the most out of our top speed. As we both come through to start this last lap, Russell's just come out of the pits, so we're not going to climb any higher than P4, P5. The rival might have a bit to say. They've got a bit of power unit left. They could still be a problem in this race. They're not pushing yet, though. We've got energy in the tank anyway. But we are going to come home what looks to be P4, P5 with also a dose of DRS to finish off. Out of Beckett's we go. DRS activated. And that is going to see us home in a very good point scoring position. We beat the rival. We do come P4, P5, the free medium, the 2 soft, very good, as well as the 2 free. Remember, if you've got tyre management boosts, you could probably even do a 4 medium at some point, or even a 3 soft, 2 soft. But without boosts, that's the best that we can do. 41 points. And we'll show you what we're up against. Similar team score rival. And they had Verstappen rare and a Behrman level 3. The same as ours. So Verstappen bad on tyre management. And their car was actually 126 speed. We only had 111. So with that, we had the lower setup for against the opponent. And we actually did really well. That is actually a pretty good setup. It was that Verstappen that gave some good team score. But we took victory with the strategy precision. So, next circuit. We're on our first power unit circuit. We head off to Belgium and Spa. So what we're going to do in this one is a one-stop strategy. It will either be wet or it will be dry. Of course, it's a free medium in the dry and a free wet. Guess what? In the wet. Now, as you can see here, we're actually going to have a little bit of an interesting strategy to do here because it's going to rain in 3 minutes and 30. Now, I'm going to stay on the mediums. What I'm going to do is basically probably end up doing a 3-2-1 or maybe a 3-1-2. Let's go. So what you got to do is keep your eye on the weather at this circuit. You can get changing conditions. Now, there is an argument that I could do a too soft. But the reason that I'm going for the free mediums is just in case there's a safety car. That might then give me more flexibility to go round again and then it rains. Whereas a too soft, you're not going to be able to do a half a lap under a safety car, that is for sure. So what you want to do is make sure you are pushing hard on the opening lap. We got a good qualifying. We've actually got a decent matchup in this race. And now we are into P2, trying to hunt down Russell. Now remember, you've only got to beat your rival, and this should be a very comfortable race. Now, of course, you could get a real player. You could get hard matchmaking. You've got to balance it out, and hopefully it will. I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes. So Bahrain comes through. Now what you're going to do is make sure to use DRS at the top of Eau Rouge. Bang, here. That's where you've got to use it. We'll do the same, and look at the speed we get from it. We're about to nearly take P1. There goes Lawson, and that is a very nice start. But straight into P2, P3 by the end of 1.5 laps pretty much. Nearly trying to get P1. It's Behrman who's doing pretty well. So again, we could have pitted this lap for softs and we probably would need wet tyres in 2 laps time. But it's just in case there's a safety car. That's why I tend to give a bit more flexibility with the tyres. So Behrman about to come through. We're about to use DRS at the top of Eau Rouge again. Bang, there you go. Let's use it as well here. Can we get through? Yes, we can. So soft tyres, it will be most likely for about 2 laps and then we'll pit for the end. So just keep an eye on your weather conditions. Make sure to conserve down the straights. Give yourself power unit to react. This last sector, absolutely pointless pushing. Save as much power unit as you can. You can see we're already back up to about 25% on Behrman. And the same for Lawson. It'll be a small double stack. Hopefully not too long. It's about 1.5 seconds. That's okay. So on to softs we go. And we will be very quick with DRS on these soft tyres now. There you go. Straight on to Behrman. Let's use it for Lawson as well. Watch Lawson. This should be a very powerful on the softs. And there you go. Oh, it's just got to Norris at the wrong time. But you could see he was about to absolutely fly through. So Behrman P1. We've overtook Russell, who's on the hards. And I'm not going to pit. So you might think 30 seconds, long circuit. You're going to lose too much time on the dry. So you've got to make sure you time it absolutely fine. And remember, there's a 10% crossover. That is what you've got to remember. So I'm going to conserve. I wanted to try and let Russell through to get DRS again, but I'm not going to be able to. So again, I'm just going to leave him on medium. Lawson. We will now hammer DRS. And let's push Behrman. Probably could have done it before Russell got past. Could also use DRS now as well. Because I'm not going to be able to use it shortly. Rain starts to come in. There is the move. Because we're going to lose DRS now we're in the lead. And the crossover is about now. So that 10, 11, 12% is where the crossover hits. So it's only in the last sector where we lose a bit of time. But we'd have lost 3/4 of the track on wet tyres if we did pit earlier. So just be careful with that one. Behrman comes in though. And we should absolutely finish 1-2 in this race. I generally believe we should finish 1-2. Because look how slow some of the AI will be going now. Absolutely incredibly slow. Behrman into P1. Lawson tracking down. Always sometimes feel like snail's pace around this circuit. But we're going to try and get through where we can. Can we now get through? Yes, we can. Can we take P2? Yes, we can. Easy strategy in Belgium. Remember, in dry conditions with the driver levels that I've got, a free medium will be absolutely fine. In wet conditions, a free wet will be absolutely fine. Just remember, if there is any changing weather conditions, maybe take into account the weather and your tyre selection. For example, if rain was coming in at the start of the race in 50 seconds time, you wouldn't go and pick mediums, you would go and pick the soft tyres. So really make sure to check that brief screen before you start where you pick your boosts or pick your tyres. Check. Remember, you need about 50 seconds a lap round Belgium, so really you can work out what tyres you might need. But that is a good win. Very easy in the end, actually. We pulled well clear of the rival, who is going very, very slowly in majorly wet conditions at present. Now they're going to come home in what is going to be P11 and P19, and as always we will just show you what the rival was running so we can compare the setups and the drivers as to what they had. They were a lower team score for this one, so we all like lower team scores. They could still be max power unit with a lower team score, you never know. They crossed the line. Hajar is not a tyre management driver. You would expect Hajar to finish quite low down the order, which he has. So we scored maximum points in a quite straightforward race with decent qualifying helping us out. Big difference actually in the team score, and you can see a level 3 Behrman. Hajar's tyres are actually okay, but you've got them at a big level to get them to 45. Level 5, that's going to cost you some coins. And then the car, you can actually see it wasn't that bad. It actually isn't a bad setup. Just the power unit is a lot lower, so a few change of parts, but that was a nice win in some tricky conditions in Belgium. Our final Series 7 track, we are off to Bahrain for this, what is now an 8-lap race at this circuit. So there is a one stop that you can do. With 50 tyre management, you can run a 4 medium, 4 hard, but I'm going to show you the 3 soft, 2 soft, and the 2 free. Do I show you? I'm going to show you a little bit different actually. Let's mix it up. So I'm going to show you the 4 medium, 4 hard strategy. I'm going to show you the basically the 3-3-2 as well. You know, going to give you the tips and the hints here. So Lawson, you're going to have to watch. He can only really just get 4 mediums on his current level. So we can't push him too much, and that is why we can't do the mediums on the second stint. So as we get racing, we're going to make some of them positions up that we lost early on. Behrman with the better race start is going to try and get through, but Lawson takes matters into his own hands and he's up to P3. So with that, we're going to cut him down. Now we are ahead of the rival, so if you want to beat your rival more often, you've got to stop thinking about trying to beat the AI. Yes, you need to beat the AI for sprints, but really, if I'm ahead of the rival at the moment like I am, you want to conserve down and just start looking after tyres and gaining as much power unit as you can get. Because your dual rival is all you're against. So in sprints, go for every position. In duels, go for the win. As soon as you're ahead, start looking after stuff. Look at the power unit that we've got. 54, and yes, the team score is in our favour. You can see Lawson's tyres are just going to get to 50% as he gets to the pit lane. And then what we're going to do, DRS, we're going to make up some of these positions. There you go, into P2. Behrman coming through as well. Best place to use it. We are now into P2 and P3. So this is the 4 medium, 4 hard with 50 tyre management. This is the 3 soft, 2 soft with 43 tyre management. Just doable with Behrman. That's what you've got to take into account. So Lawson will just have enough. That's why you can't do hards on the second stint. You won't make it. You won't make it with mediums. We're just going to make it on this first one. So hards for Lawson this time round. He's into P1. We're going to make sure we just conserve a little bit as well. And then Behrman, still got another stop to do, but coming out on the softs. And again, we're going to save that DRS for the main straight where it's most effective. We're going to leave him pushing though, because he can make up some good ground. Conserving straights. Lawson, told ya, 4 hards. We've got a safety car. It is going to change it up, but as you can see, we were ahead at the point quite comfortably. And it was looking pretty good. So I'm not going to pit. I'm going to leave this out there. But that was the strategy of doing the 4 medium, 4 hard. And also then, you've seen us do 4 mediums, so you know we can get the hards. And we're comfortably doing the 3-3-2 as well. So you might get a safety car. Be ready to react. The rival will probably go towards the end, but the safety car is pretty fast at Bahrain. So having that quick pit stop doesn't always necessarily work out, because it doesn't really wait for anybody. So again, good one for you to watch. Don't worry about pitting too quickly. The safety car is pretty quick. Now Lawson is going to the end, so he covers off the strategy by Hamilton here. And obviously Lawson, Behrman is going to cover off Behrman. So going to be looking good. Look how far he's going to be detached in P14. We're going to have a nice advantage. We're going to think we should have the use of DRS as well down the home straight, because we didn't use it. As we get racing, and we do. So we should get a nice advantage down this one. Into P1 we go. Into P3. I'm going to stick to the same strategy. I can pit this lap, which I will, and continue that 3-3-2. But Lawson handed the victory with that 4 medium, 4 hard. He would have been up there anyway. If anything, it brought the cars closer together. But now Behrman's going to come into the pits. He can't do another lap. Norris very strong. And he'll come in. But look at Lawson, absolutely dispatched. Now this race isn't over yet, because the rival's still pretty close. But believe in your strategy. We'll overcome it. Behrman coming out in 12th place. And we're going to use a bit of DRS whilst he's got a few cars in front of him. Let's make sure we get past and not get held up here. If we can get Lawson, we should have the win anyway. There we go, P10. Oh yeah, we should have this win comfortably. So 4 medium, 4 hard if you've got 50 tyre management. Anything lower than that, a 3 soft, 2 soft is absolutely fine as well. As Behrman comes through, he's going to make another position. He's going to move back into 8th place. He might be able to get into 7th here. Easier said than done. P7 for Ollie Behrman now. He is up nicely through. We have got a bit of DRS. We'll use it on the home straight just for the fun. We are going to get Lawson win this race though with a comfortable strategy. The 4 medium, 4 hard. We're not going to gain any more positions on Behrman, I don't think. We have got 1 car out of tyres. We do lag, but we survive as we come down the straight. And it is an easy win in the end. We did exactly what we needed to do. And that was a team score rival that was in our favour as well. Often you can beat, of course, the team scores that are lower. A lot more difficult to beat the higher ones. But the key part of this video is to show you the strategy, where I conserve, where I push, where to use DRS, what setup and drivers I use. Now that was a 8-4-9. What a big team score difference on that one. And yeah, you've got a level 1 Hamilton and a level 2 Epic Behrman. The car was a balanced speed and cornering, but we talk. I mean, that rival, to be fair, I think Hamilton's not helping his team score. But that is our Series 7 complete. They are the strategies that we follow basically against any rival. So you are going to get a massive help. But we are in Series 8 as we look ahead to try and do our Series 8 guide.